All right, y'all. So let's talk about this Somali stuff going on. Couple developments since the last video that I've dropped. Number one, Tim Walz has raised a flag in Minnesota that looks very similar to the Somali flag. Should this be considered treason? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments down below what should happen because of this. Because you can't just encroach on a culture and or a state or a city and try to infuse it. There's a reason why, and I'll go deeper into a lot of this, but there's a reason why the Somali stuff doesn't work because they're highly embedded with Islam, and this country is built on Judeo-Christian values, and Islam and Christianity doesn't work for a couple reasons. If you want to know a full breakdown of this, but number one, Muslims deny Jesus Christ and his divinity. They think he was a person, but one of the biggest historical facts, and Jesus is, I would argue, one of the, if not the most documented persons in history. So to deny him that he existed or any of the miracles that he did is crazy. But number one, they deny that he even died and was buried and resurrected. That's a very well-known historical fact. A lot of people are saying that, especially in Islam, they deny this, but they say it made it to appear so. Like, how did they make it appear so? Number one. Number two, why is Jesus coming back to judge all if he's not God? Only God can judge all, right? It says that he's the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He says himself from his own words. And they say that Allah is the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. But there's a Islamic dilemma that I would present in this. Islam, when you bring up the verse about Thomas where he says, "My Lord and my God," they say, "Oh no, he was surprised to see the hole in his hand and the hole in his side." He was surprised to say that, but why would he be surprised if God didn't get crucified? If God didn't have the hole in his side and the holes in his hand and came back to life, why would Thomas be surprised if he wasn't crucified, huh? Another Islamic dilemma. Anyways, yes, the Somali stuff is getting way out of control. From what I've seen and the financial records that I have acquired, basically is showing that all the Somali daycares have grocery stores either attached to them or right next to them. Now, let's do some quick math. If you're making about $14, $15 an hour, let's say you're a wife of the owner of the daycare, or let's say you're working at the daycare and you're making like $14, $15 an hour and you actually have 3 or 4 kids, because I don't think these daycares are empty, like fully empty. I think they are actually like being used as personal daycares for the kids of the owners. Because on average they have about 3.94 kids. So just imagine you got 4 people working there, 4 kids each. That's a decent amount of kids at the daycare, but there's not going to be any pickups and drop-offs, which makes it look very suspicious. But if they're all working and making about 14 an hour, they're still qualifying for food stamps and for welfare and all of these government assistance programs, which is crazy that they can get them and they're not even in the country legally, right? Boom. Let's take it a step further. If there have these people working at the grocery stores as well, making $14, $15 an hour, not only are they pocketing all that money because they don't have to, a lot of them are living rent free. Like the videos I've seen, people are saying that they can work and stuff for 2 years and never have to pay no bills. And then after the 2-year period is up, then they have to pay some bills. That's crazy work, beyond crazy work. So they're getting 2 years of free work. Free money basically, on top of getting government assistance. So that means food stamps, welfare, sometimes WIC. Mind you, they're getting all of this as not citizens of the country. They're not citizens of the United States. They're just living here illegally and getting all of these benefits and stuff. These are benefits that could have went to government, government entities. They could have been reallocated to other programs, or they could have actually went to American citizens that need it. And my theory is that this is to stop the dollar from being worth more, and it's ultimately to encourage a illegal immigration invasion that was happening during Biden, right? And they said that they were investigating it under Biden, and they stopped it because it was going to implicate those who were involved in the Biden administration. Why would they do that? Did they not want their name to be on these documents that got them letting these illegal immigrants in and funding them, funding their escapades, funding their businesses? Why would these illegal immigrants be getting all this money to fund their businesses on top of working, getting that money tax-free because they're paying taxes for it? But how are they going to pay taxes if they're not even they're not even a citizen of the United States? How are they going to pay taxes? Only legal citizens pay taxes. Simple. So they're getting all this money. So they're probably up. They're making money probably from the grocery stores, from the daycares, and from the government. On top of not having to pay for no rent, no bills, getting free phones, getting cards with extra $200 on it every month. Man, I ain't gonna lie. If I was a legal immigrant, I'd vote for Biden too. But we can see how the Lord works. It wasn't enough, and it won't be enough now. Should Tim Walz be charged with treason? I don't know. But make sure y'all are armed. Make sure y'all prepare yourself. I don't know what's coming, but 2028 is going to be something crazy. I don't know what's going to happen, but something is coming. Make sure y'all prepare. I don't know if it's a civil invasion, a domestic invasion. I don't know if it's going to be more attacks and stuff. I mean, but think about it like this. These immigrants, illegal immigrants, are getting almost 200 million. It was like 140, but $200 million. And that's just what they uncovered now. The 200 million. That's a lot of money that could be reallocated to American citizens to help with our programs and to help our household needs. Stuff that we could do. We could be putting that money into the market. We could be putting that money into fixing the housing market. We could be putting that money into helping with actual daycares, with actual schools that actually exist that aren't helping illegal immigrants, right? The Leering Center, they finally changed the name, but anybody, you got to watch out for people who are defending this. You got to watch out for people who are saying like, nah, what I heard is blah, 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 blah. Listen, don't believe everything you hear. Do your own research. I say this all the time. Do your own research. But from what I can see, it is bad. These people are getting a lot of money for nothing, doing nothing. This is fraud. It's to the point where they got on a stage to talk about it. And there was not only one Somali, but a second Somali that said, we know fraud is bad. And then she was like, oh, uh-oh. I can't say anything else because I know fraud is bad. Basically admitting. It's like a Kyle Rittenhouse moment where the lawyer was like, so you only shot him once he pointed the gun at you. And he was like, correct. And the lawyer was like, dummy. That's basically what happened. They both admitted. They said, oh, fraud is bad. Who would have thought fraud is bad? Anyways, guys, let me see if I got anything else on my notes. I think that's it, though. Yeah. So let me know what y'all think about this whole Somali incident stuff that's happening. I don't think it's just with the Somalis, but the Somalis are the most important. By the way, I have a daycare up the street from my house. I'm pretty sure it's owned by Somalis. Can't confirm it or not because I've never seen nobody at this daycare center. And I've driven around during peak pickup drop-off hours. I've driven around during the day, at night. I've never seen no car at this place. Maybe one. The building looks abandoned, but this learning center, this daycare is... It says it's open all the time, but I always am driving by, even on my off days, and I never see nobody there. So what the hell is going on? I don't know, but there's a lot of fraud going on apparently, and we need to get to the bottom of this, and this is exactly what I voted for. All right, guys, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Stay tuned for more. We got more coming. All right, peace.